Mate. Thank you, sir. What do you got?
I'm not sure. Looks like a tailor to me.
No, son. Oh, how shallow is that water?
I know, it's less than a foot in there where I cast it.
G'day, welcome to Real Action. Michael Guest. I've got young Jonathan with me this morning. It is an early start for us, but looks like it's paying off. There's a little bit of action on the flats here. We're throwing some big lures around, hopefully for a flathead. We're going to do a bit of vibing. It's really an estuary luring show, and mate, that is a nice start. I'll just turn us back into the tide here a little bit.
I'm running pretty light leader, so maybe a net job.
We are in that much water, absolute super shallow water, and
saw a bit of a spray of bait fish. Michael gives me the cast order.
well, I did the cast order. If you see, I said to him, if you see a little bit of action, mate, I don't want to know about it. I want to see the cast go flying out. Pick that one up, show everybody. That is in dead set. We are in that much water, and just goes to show you, there's peak bite times. Sunrise is certainly one of them. Sunset, low light conditions, and predators like tailor. You know, tailor are a prime example. Fish like that are feeding in that much water, which is just amazing.
Off you go, buddy. Yep, there he is, Michael.
Got one. Jono's on the lighter tackle, 8-pound leader and a smaller profile soft plastic, so I'm going to try and fish for that fish's
mother.
Well, hopefully that's a plan anyway. So tide's ripping in at the moment. We've got the wind pushing behind us, and we're just creeping along with the electric and then just parking or spot locking, fishing an area and then moving along. It's a bit like fish your feet first, I guess, is the go. There's nothing worse, and we just spooked one a minute ago.
We did it.
Flathead about 70 centimetres just in the shallows as I was coming back around. There's nothing worse than spooking them. You want to get a cast at them first, don't you?
These are beautiful fish, all lit up off the sand.
All right, mate, I might just slide the net under this one. Bit of a head shake.
Beautiful.
And in we go.
How good is that?
Oh, beautiful little fish, that one, coloured up. All right, let's throw a glove on there, Jono, and pick him up, and we'll have a look at him.
Don't want to get spikes, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we'll just have a closer look at the couple of different lures that we're using. I'll grab my bigger lure, and you've got your smaller one.
Come in here, mate. There you go. There he is.
Yeah, so just a smaller profile. I'll see if I can just pop that out. I reckon that'll come
just pinned in the top of the mouth.
Out of there. Yeah, so two different, same technique, but similar techniques. Conventional jig head there, so Jono's just sort of skipping it across the bottom, and then I've got a slightly bigger jig head, bigger gape, and then I've got a stinger hook, a little treble that's just pinned in the back, and that's a big profile lure, hoping to catch a bigger fish. So a bit of a tip, if you catch a smaller flathead like that and you are looking to catch a bigger one, keep casting in that same area because that bigger fish could be not too far away. It's a beautiful day on the water, nice and calm at the moment. So we've had a bit of a fish on the sand flats. So now we've just moved out into, what depth have we got here? Around that sort of 9.5, 10 metres. What we're going to do is, as I said, throw some lures in the deeper water. We've got a couple of vibes going, a little bait fish profile vibration lure that swims up and down off the bottom. I can work that slightly deeper water, and we're just going to fish a few little spots that I've got here and just see if we can't get a tailor, a flathead, and you never know what else, snapper or even a mulloway if you're really lucky.
There's nothing better than a day on the water, but you want to make it home safely. So remember, one of the most important pieces of safety gear is your life jacket. 8 out of 10 boaters who have drowned in New South Wales were not wearing one. The new jackets come in a range of designs, so they won't get in the way, whether you're chasing a big one or just taking in the sights. Whenever you're out on the water, make sure you and all the crew put one on. Marine Rescue New South Wales, volunteers saving lives on the water.
There he is, Guesty.
Got him, mate.
Jeez, he scared me, that one. He hit it that hard.
Scared? How can you be scared?
Scared of a fish. I tell you what.
He woke you up is what
He
he's
woke
done.
me up. I was a bit tired there.
Nice fish.
Dozing off, yeah. He's got a bit of weight there. I'm calling a flathead.
Calling a flathead.
Oh, you never know what it is when you're throwing a vibe around, but I think I called this one right. Look at that.
Just a nice little fella. So the water's really super discoloured at the moment. I've got quite a clear vibe on, and Jono's gone that hot pink.
Love my hot pink.
The hot pink colour. It's just all about getting that vibrational. If you're chasing flathead, you want to really be hopping it off the bottom. And for fish that are a bit more suspended, you can work the water column a little bit further.
Gotcha. That's a great fish, Michael.
Got him.
That has a lot of weight to it.
Wow.
I tell you what,
There's a double
a
hook
double
up.
to start your morning.
We just had another little move.
How's that go?
And
Wow, this has some weight to it.
yours has got a bit of weight. Yep. I haven't seen mine yet.
I'm looking for colour, but this water, oh, that is a nice fish,
That's a nice
Michael.
one, actually. That's a nice fish.
Oh, wow, wow, wow.
Just take your time there, buddy. I'm going to have to
I'm going to back the drag off is what I'm doing.
just do a bit myself.
Oh, I've spat him. And that
Oh, did you?
is my unluck for the day, but what you've got over here looks all right to me.
No, it's all right. It's a nice fish.
Beautiful.
Sneak him in.
There he is.
Yeah, that's a nicer fish. Just jump up here, buddy.
Look at him.
Yeah, it's that time of day where, as we said before, you just got to keep changing up. Estuary fishing, lure fishing in estuaries. I have a lot of people contact me, and if you want to do that, you jump onto the Real Action TV Facebook page, send a message, and I'll answer it. Jono answers a few as well. But quite often get questions. Oh, I guess I'm casting lures, and I'm not having a lot of luck with flathead. You got to think a bit like a flathead. A, they're on the bottom, they're hard on the bottom, so you need to be contacting the bottom. B, you don't want to be too heavy, you don't want to be smashing it and there's no action left in your lure. It's about trying to work the column. We're in 5 metres here now, so I can still use the vibe in 5 metres. Probably a couple of metres, you nearly got to roll it.
Slow roll it, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Or go to a soft plastic, but in this depth, it's a really
Took a
good
liking to that, didn't he? Look
yeah,
at that.
it's a great way to do it. And I think Jono's fish might have been just that little bit bigger than that one as well. But you can see that looks exactly like a small mullet, even maybe a fat whitebait.
Yeah,
Whitebait
exactly.
been having a bit of a chew. So
Now that's a cracking catch. Have you been catching some ripper fish lately? Send in your photo to our Alfab's Cracking Catch competition at the Real Action TV Facebook page. To get you hooked up every week, we're giving away a pen, rod, reel and line combo, an awesome JBL marine stereo system, along with some great gear from Valvoline to keep your marine engine and trailer lubricated.
go, old mate. I'll find you when you get a little bit bigger, eh?
Oh, that's a long tom. How cool's that?
Hey, just eating it off the surface. Oh, now that is a true estuary predator right here. They are. Now, what you got to do is you got to crank these in, and your mate who's fishing with you needs to handle them, I think. So I just lift him straight up. Jono, that's you.
Get out of the way. I don't
John,
want
can you grab this?
That's your marlin to deal with. I tell you what, the estuary marlin they call them.
Oh dear, they are. They've got big. They've got really sharp teeth, not big teeth, but lots of them.
Tell you what, I
And
wouldn't
I
want to be a bait fish in front of that.
No. Check the teeth out on this bloke.
Look at him.
That's a dead set that's as close as we get to crocodiles
tell you
around
what.
here, I reckon.
You know,
They are a mad thing, mad
They're
thing.
prehistoric.
He wasn't even hooked, he was just lassoed.
you meant to do that, didn't you?
And cool looking critter, the old long tom. He's ready to go, I think. Check the teeth out on that. Off you go, buddy. How things change, Jonathan.
Oh, did you order that wind? I didn't.
It's blowing pretty hard now. Something change has turned up. And we've had a bit of a vibe around in the deeper water. Didn't have a lot of success. I got a really nice flathead. You pulled out of a big one there just not that long ago, but the wind's blowing now. I'm thinking that tide's starting to run out back on the shallower country, so we've come back in a little bit shallow. We might even move down into the sort of drain out of this estuary system. This is my local estuary system, this one, Lake Macquarie. And we might fish that drain now. It's starting to run out a bit further. Hopefully there's a few birds pop up later and some tailors start working. We can always target those and then fish the vibes back underneath them at the bottom of the tide. So just a matter of trying to chase the tide around. One of the great things when you're fishing an estuary is that you can actually chase the tide. The bottom of the tide will be at the mouth, and then you can fish there, and then if you're quick enough, in a fast boat like this one, you can roar up and then get the tide change, as it were, further into the estuary, if that makes sense. So it takes longer for the tide to change. Let's say you've got a 12 o'clock low tide at the mouth. It might take 3 hours later, it might be more than 3 hours at the back end of it. So you can get that tide change in a couple of spots if you know how to fish your local waterway, and that's what it's all about.
Yes. Oh, just off the flats there, Michael. And that looks like a nice flathead by the looks of it.
Yeah, water's nice and clear, isn't it?
What are you doing down the back? You're not very rigging, are you?
So that run-out tide's starting to work for us. As I said, it's all about understanding your local estuary system and working out where to fish when. And that, it's a lively character, that one.
Tell you what, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful looking fish. So working out where to fish when, and now we've got the tide running out. Got barometers in our favour a little bit, so we've got a bit of a rising barometer, which does make a big difference when you're estuary fishing. Just slide that across. Where did that glove end up, mate?
Glove? I've done a bit of a clean up, just in the climb there.
Clean up. Really?
Cleaning up after you, I tell you what.
You never clean up. Yeah, put that on, shellfish. Full of cheek. Hey, just remember when you're zipping around in an estuary system that you're not used to, if you go somewhere that you haven't been before, just watch these shallow, sandy areas. I know I watch people who probably haven't been here before, and they're watching us right up in the shallows. It's only this deep, and you see them, mum, dad, and the kids charging along, bang, hit the bottom. Wow, you can really hurt yourself.
It can ruin a good day out in the water.
It can ruin a good day out on the water. Parapolarized sunnies is good because you can see that coloration changes, but after the rain we've had lately, the water's been quite dirty and it can be quite difficult to see those shallow bits. There'll be markers. There's isolated danger markers out further, so just keep an eye out on that. And that is a very nice looking fish. Look at that colours there, spots on it. Beautiful looking flathead. That is a very nice
took
flathead.
A liking to that. Oh, what is that? That's a fish that I haven't seen before. It's a leather jacket.
Leather jacket, Jono.
Hey there, Michael.
Yeah, nice.
Straight in.
Yeah, they're just, you know what? I think it's underrated, people targeting these on lures. They chew your lures up big time. And it's been a bit of a crazy day so far. 1 minute that front came through, it's backed out again. It's glassed off a bit, which is really nice. And we're just throwing some smaller lures around now in our estuary lure fishing. So that was
not much left of that.
No, it was a little creature bait.
Wow.
And that leather jacket has just destroyed it. Just remember when you're handling them, well, I won't push it right back. That big horn on the top, it folds down, but very, very sharp there. That's about it. Otherwise, they're pretty good to handle. And don't put your finger near those teeth. They've got like secateurs type teeth too, the old leather jacket.
They'll do that to you. Off you go, buddy. Oh, cool looking fish.
Yep.
No, mate. That looks like a nice fish.
Taking a bit of string, that one.
Wow.
Just had to move off the flats and jump out of the wind a little bit. Super noisy, but you can always go and have a bit of fun if you've got a packet of little creature baits. Drop them down the pylon And there's a myriad of little bream like that swimming around there, and also some really, really big ones. These are ideal, these little creature baits that come in this fluid like this. They're sensational, got a lot of scent, and that is just a perfect little bait to run down the side of those pylons to try and catch yourself a nice big bream. So we've got a bit of got a 12th jig head, some 6-pound leader, so fishing a bit heavier than I normally would for bream. Bit of 6-pound braid, 2 to 4 kilo rod, and just ideal for this situation. As that tide slows up, hopefully the fish will get a bit bigger.
There he is, fellas.
Go, mate.
Go, son, go, you good thing. Here he comes.
You got to get him away from those oyster-encrusted rocks pretty damn fast.
It's a nice bream. I think
Yeah,
one
mate.
of your bream friends would be happy with that in the comp. I tell you
Mate,
what.
that's a nice fish. Lift him up.
Straight in.
Yeah, getting a bit bigger. That's more like
That's
it.
a little bit more
just
like it. Come in here, mate.
Just pinned him in the corner of the jaw there.
Jeez, he took a liking to that, didn't he, mate?
Yeah, and you get huge numbers of bream and luderick hang around bridge pylons. Also big flathead will lay around the bottom of them, but it's amazing to see the numbers that are there. You think to yourself, oh, there's a bream there. I've got to tell you, there's probably 500 bream swimming around there, I should say. I'll just take that out. Beautiful little fish. We'll get him back in and hopefully may even upgrade a little bit bigger.
bigger?
Would be good. Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, I don't know about that.
Off you go, buddy. Oh. Go, mate.
Certainly the next size up, that fish. Nice chunky one.
Got your rod there, mate?
Yeah. If I can't just give him a little lift up. That's a better fish.
That's a beautiful bream.
Well
Well done.
Actually torn my soft plastic off, but that's all right. I've got plenty more in the tub where that one came from. He's starting to get up there. And while that tide's slow, we're going to work this window. We'll probably end up back on the flats chasing a flathead again. But tailor, flathead, bream.
Leather jacket.
Leather jacket? I forgot about the leather
Don't forget
jacket.
my leather jacket. Hey.
I don't think you've caught too many jackets before,
I
have you?
haven't. That was my first one.
I don't know how you live here, mate. It is so noisy. But anyway, it's probably a bit quieter down in the depths. Off you go, buddy. Go on. Side scan's really good to have a bit of a look along the pylons and pick which ones are holding the most fish. Some pylons won't have quite as many bream. For some reason, they tend to congregate more on the other ones. So if you just cruise along with the side scan, have a bit of a look, move away, come back, and then put your lure in the right spot and fish where the most, I guess where the biggest numbers of fish are is the key.
Oh, mate.
Oh, he's a nice fish, actually. Don't forget it's illegal to tie up to bridges or bridge pylons. We're actually dead in line with this pylon. We're not obstructing any traffic, and there's the main entrances over there. So I think we're pretty right where we are, but just show other boat users a bit of courtesy. It's a great place to fish, but you just got to make sure you leave it open. And speaking of fish,
That looks like a nice bream, I tell you what.
he's a good fish actually. So
Take your rod, mate.
yeah, I'll see if I can grab hold of him and just lift him up.
Beautiful.
Yeah, a little bit of weed on him. That's a solid one.
Excellent.
Oh, and everybody's like, hey! Yeah. Bit of horn blowing, everybody.
Everyone's loving it.
That's real action right there.
Awesome.
We've got a bit of an audience here, so we haven't had too many obscenities yelled at us so
We
far.
haven't.
Which is
I'm
good.
surprised.
Quite often,
tell
yeah.
you what.
Occasionally there's a bare bottom that hangs out of a window, and there's all sorts of things that go on when you're fishing in places like this. We're having a really good time. That's another nice
It's a
bream.
cracking fish.
Oh, we've got a nice flounder. Oh, gee, they're a cool looking fish, aren't they, Jono?
Wow.
We're adding to our target species. We've
Number 6, I think that one is. 5 or 6.
get him in there. Oh, that's the worst net
job.
shot
I know exactly what you're going to say.
in 26 countries, but you got it in there in the end anyway. I love flounder.
It's
They're
a cool looking fish. Look at that.
yeah, they're amazing. They have this amazing camouflage where I reckon you can put them on a checkerboard and they'll
And they'll go black and white.
They'll change their colours to suit the checkerboard. Check that out. It's got a little shrimp pattern, soft plastic on.
Oh,
Oh, oh, oh.
they're actually born vertical, and as they grow up, the eye goes around to the other side, which is a cool little thing.
Wow, where did you
Yeah.
learn that?
Well, not off you, I tell you that. The eye starts over here and it migrates around.
It does. They're a cool fish. Sit flat on the bottom, obviously, and soft plastics are a really good way to catch them. You catch them when you're using prawns and yabbies.
prawns and bait. But that's pretty cool that he took a liking to that. Awesome. There he is, Michael.
Yep.
Another little fella off the flats. Oh, big head shakes.
Taking his head. Lift him straight up, mate.
Swinging straight in. There he is. Oh, get my hand under there. Oh, got to be careful of those spikes.
You do. They spike you so easily, that's for sure. That's a bigger, well, actually shaking the lure off, but a much bigger profile lure than what I'm using, and you're getting the bites at the moment. So, yeah, just certainly liking that, either that colour or that shape.
Or the angler, either one, you decide.
Yeah, it's probably the angler, actually.
Oh, come in here,
Oh,
Mr. Flathead.
Man, that's a nice fish.
I don't tell me you beat me. Oh, I don't want to bring mine in anymore.
Just on the vibe. What'd you get? Double hookup.
A double hookup, but yours is a bit bigger, so I'm a little bit hesitant to bring mine in.
A little bit hesitant.
Yeah.
Look at that.
How's
Just a
that?
little vibe. And you're on the big vibe.
I'm on the big vibe.
And the bigger fish came on the
big
smaller
vibe. On the
vibe.
small. Oh, how's
Wow,
that work?
that's a longer fish, but I reckon
a cracking bream.
I'll go with this one. You've been watching Real Action. Michael Guest, Jono Bleakley. We've had a great time out doing some lure fishing in my local estuary system. I think we've got 6 different species. Well, we're going to include the long tom, so we'll have to 6.
Got to go in there. It's a cooler config.
PB leather jacket for you.
Yeah, first leather jacket.
Awesome. Well, look, get yourself a range of soft plastics, some little vibes and bits and pieces, and
The pink one works, promise.
yeah, there's lots of options throwing lures around your local estuary system. Jono and Guesty, we'll catch you next time. Bye now.
If you want more tips, tricks, and behind-the-scenes stories, check out the Real Action Fishing Podcast.